I'm having the hardest time with my intro this morning, and I don't know why. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, my name is Alexia, also known as MJ Alleyway. If you're not new here, then what's up? I am going to be going over the details about my last market, how it went, and what I sold, and all that good stuff. So let's just get right into that. So I have my little notes here to make sure I don't forget anything. So I had a market, today is Monday. My market was on Saturday. I was really looking forward to this market when I first moved to Tennessee. Immediately, I basically started looking at markets a couple weeks after I got here, and I came across this one, and I was like, okay, this is going to be really good. And it was a juried market, so I probably won't get in, but juried markets, really excite me because, you have that little, will I get in? Won't I get in? And then, if you do get in, you're like, okay, cool. I know that there's not going to be a bunch of other, for my sake, a bunch of other crocheters because, that's what I do. And when it comes to juried markets, they typically only select one or two of a certain niche. Well, if you're not new here and you have watched my other videos, especially recent ones, I was kind of complaining about this market a little bit leading up to it because I had asked the organizers how many crochet artists there were going to be there, and they told me that there was going to be 5. Now there was about 60 vendors, and 5 of them being crochet is just a lot. It's just too much. And yeah, so I was a little discouraged. Anyway, when I got to the market, almost immediately, this wonderful woman, her business is called The Sleeping Piglet, and I will have her stuff linked below. She came and introduced herself. She says that she's watched my videos. She did the same thing as me. When the vendor list came out, I look and I see everybody, and I pick out who, I just see who's the crochet people, and I go and look at their pages, and I'd be a little nosy. So, she had watched some of my stuff, and she was really nice, introduced herself. Her work is beautiful. And I always talk about being different, and I feel like her stuff looked so much different than every other amigurumi artist that I see typically at shows. She definitely picks out patterns that there was patterns that I recognized, but then there was also patterns that I had no idea. And she said that her and her sister do a lot of pattern tests for a lot of different designers. So she just had really cool things. But yeah, super nice. And again, I'll have her Facebook and Instagram linked down below. Just good people, give them a follow. Right behind me, there was, another booth facing away from me. And that was this earring designer, which I have on right now and I'll get to right behind me. And then, the next line over, facing the same way I'm facing, is a Sleeping Piglet. She has 2 booths. So when you're looking at me, all you see is this whole thing of plushies right behind me that are not mine, that are from hers. And I just had a small table, and she had, all this stuff. So it's one of those things. And again, this is not her fault. This is nobody's fault. And again, I will get to the whole thing about, but the organizers and stuff, because I'll talk about it. But I just think that was something that maybe they didn't really take into consideration. They didn't really think, about it. I know sometimes these organizers are experienced, so I would think that they wouldn't have done that. I know sometimes when they're not as experienced, they think in their head, they're oh, it's a bunch of crochet people. Okay, we'll put them all in the same area. That way, it's, niche specific in each area. And it's no, don't do that. But anyway, so, super cool though. Great stuff. The only thing that ended up happening, was so she had this dog that had that was jointed, and I had seen it right in the morning when we were setting up, and I was like, wow, that is super cool. Amazing work, cool pattern. And then, when the market opened, this little girl, she came and she picked up my blue dog, and she's like, mommy, look, or whatever, and she's like, look, look at this dog. And her mom, grandmom, whatever, was like, yeah, but the other one's better. So, you know, it's still cute though, but put it down. And I'm just standing there. And I'm like, and why do you have to say that? And then the little girl's like, yeah, this one's limbs don't move. And it's like, so I knew that they were talking about that dog, which that dog is super cool. And I was like, that's fine. Like, it's not a competition. It's not like, you know, it's not like that. It's just like, come on. And I normally never receive like any type of like negative comments or anything. Like I'm one of those people that I rarely ever get people saying things like, oh, you know, I can get this cheaper elsewhere, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just kind of like, who says that? Who says like, oh, well, the other one's better? And you're just, I'm standing right there. Like, I'm not even like 3 feet from you. Anyway, the sleeping piglet, her dog is super cool. So I get it. But anyway, so yeah, there was 5+ vendors there that were crochet. It was not just 5. There was definitely other people. So they originally told me 5. They also said that, the vendors all sold different stuff, and there's just like they didn't sell different stuff. It was not 5 different types of crochet. It wasn't like one person did wearables, one person did amigurumi, one person did blankets, one person did this. It's like everybody besides like 2 people did amigurumi, and by everybody I'm like, I counted probably, that was probably 4 or 5. And then somebody did crochet hats, and they were like diagonal to me here, and then across from them was crochet blankets. Then behind me was sleeping piglet, and then at the end of my row was I have it written down here, I think it's pronounced Ergozi Acres. I will have her stuff linked down below too. Super sweet. Just like, again, super sweet. She came all the way up from Nashville. It's like 45 minutes away. But it was just kind of like, she sold, you know, amigurumi, and she's right there on the same aisle. And so the sleeping piglet, her name is, I'm pretty sure it was Lori. I hope it was Lori, because that's what I'm remembering in my head. So Lori and I, and then the girl at the end, I cannot remember her name. But we were all talking, and we all said the same thing. We're like, why were we all accepted to come here, and why were we all put in like the same area? We were all equally as frustrated. It wasn't like oh, you know, it tends to be like with vendors, like people, we all have like the same thoughts. We all have like the same ideas. Everybody's like so kind. Everybody's cool. It's not like competition. It's not like, oh, you know, look at your stuff. Let me go do this and do that. I did have one woman who was selling, she was the one who was selling crochet hats. She came over and she was taking pictures of a bunch of my stuff, and she was looking at all my prices and taking pictures. And it was a little weird. She didn't introduce herself. She didn't say hi. She didn't do anything. She was just over there doing that. And I was just like, okay, like whatever. Do you? But yeah, so from the Ergozi Farms, I bought this beautiful, I love these colors and I love this yarn. I did not ask her what yarn this is, but it is just like, it feels really good. And I bought this beautiful bandana. Like, I make these, but I never keep anything for myself, so I like to buy other crochet items sometimes from other people, because then it's like, I don't know, like every time I make something, I can never just keep it for myself. I always just like, okay, you know, it goes to like a market and I sell it, or, you know, gift it. But I thought this was beautiful. So I bought this, and then I gave her some safety eyes, because I had a bunch of safety eyes that I painted. I brought them with me, and I gave the sleeping piglet, and I gave Ergozi Farms as well. I gave them each a pair of painted safety eyes, just because it's cool. I mean, like, I would like to, I don't know, I just thought it would be cool as like a crocheter to be able to, you know, somebody give me those for free. It's just, I don't know, I just love people. So and then because I gave her that, she gave me the little broccoli buddy. Again, I've made this pattern, or not, I can't say this pattern specifically, but I have made a little broccoli buddy before, and I don't keep things for myself. So I've never made one with like worsted weighted yarn. But look how cute. And she's just so sweet. She gave me this. So yeah, just super cool people. Then the woman behind me, she sold earrings. I'm wearing a pair right now. These are only $3. $3. And I got little gummy bear ones. And then I got these little cows. So I'm gonna have her stuff linked down below as well. And then she, I don't know if I have them in here, but my daughter was upset because she doesn't have her ears pierced. She's 3.5, she doesn't have her ears pierced. She really wanted a pair of earrings. And she sat there and she made her a pair of like the clip-on earrings and gave them to us for free. Like, that's the thing, like when you go to markets, it's so much more about just like the money. I just find it so important just to like talk to the people around you and to network and to just like make these connections, not even just for like business purposes, but just like human connection. It's like people who are in the creative realm tend to have like similar, you know, similar working minds. I feel they're easier to connect to, and yeah, I just like love the people that I met there. Then I also, lastly, I got I've never seen a vendor who does nail polish, like their own nail polish, like not selling any type of like MLM, like they make this nail polish, these different colors. These were the coolest colors. It was so hard for me to pick, but I got this one. This one is called Green Gold Shift, and this company is called Phoenix Beauty Supply. Again, link down below. So I got this color, and then I got this color. My daughter picked out this one. But she just has like so many like really pretty shimmery colors. And then I just got this one. And then if you buy 3, you get the top coat for free. So I got the top coat. Super nice people. I love like being able to trade and buy and stuff like that from, you know, other vendors, especially like the ones that are like your neighbors and stuff. It's just like typically how it ends up happening, and it's just like really cool. I just love the experience. I love the experience of markets, especially when you have like cool vendor neighbors. So that's that on the whole setup situation, vending situation, or crochet vendor stuff. I don't have like a lot of video from the market. I had to bring my daughter. Next market, I thankfully don't have to bring my daughter to. I love my kid very much, but it is extremely hard to set up and break down and run a market for 6 hours with a 3.5-year-old. So yeah, I didn't get too much video, but I will insert stuff you know, within this video of stuff and whatnot. But let's move on. So it was the slowest market that I have ever been to, like ever. I've done a lot of markets, like many markets before even starting my YouTube channel. It was the slowest one I've ever been to. So this is by far the slowest market I have ever attended. I'm currently outside the market, still going. But my daughter, she got, hold on. She got a little antsy. And we are coming outside to get some food at the food truck because it's so dead that it doesn't even matter. I'm not really worried about missing anybody or anything. We'll chat more later. It was like, there were moments, not even moments, there was hours where there was nobody, not a single soul that would walk by. I made, basically almost all of my money that I made was in the first hour. And then after that, it was just sitting around, vendors shopping from each other, us talking, going out to like the food truck and getting some food. It was really hard to like entertain my daughter because there just like wasn't really much happening. And when people are constantly like, coming up and like buying stuff, and she likes to like, you know, have like those interactions as well. So when we're just sitting there, she's kind of just like, why are we just sitting here and doing nothing? So we're about like 2 hours, 3 hours into the market. I think 3. It is extremely slow, but I have made about 220, and the booth fee was 80. So, I mean, I'm already up, and because I have a market on the 18th, I don't really want to sell out anyway. I don't think that the organizers did anything wrong. They advertised a lot, local news stations, everything. I feel as though the issue was the location. They normally have events in Nashville, and this was their first time having an event in my town, which is like 45 minutes away from Nashville. So they picked this, venue, and it was at a college that was kind of like it was just like at a college, kind of like hidden in like the back of like this one building that was like this little gym, and without instructions on how to get there and everything like that we were given. I just feel like for other people, like you really had to have known about the market, as in like I know somebody who is like going to the market and they told me about it and I'm gonna find it, or they heard it, on like the radio, and they wrote it down and they're like, I'm gonna go find this market. But it was not easy to find, and because it was indoors and it was like hidden, nobody was gonna just like drive by and be like, oh, there's a market today in there, let me go in there. Like it just wasn't gonna happen. And that's why I prefer, this is my second indoor market. The only markets I've had in Tennessee have been indoors. The first one, as you know from my one of my past videos, I sold out at, but that was like an event where I was the only crochet vendor, and then people were already there because it was a like a spring music concert for like the choir and all that stuff for this middle school, so everybody was coming there regardless. This one, it's like you had to want to go there for the craft fair, and again, because it was not outside, it's like when we left and everything, whatever, not even like 10 minutes up the road, there was this big event outside, had a lot of vendors, a lot of food trucks and stuff like that. So you could just see it from the highway, so it's like if we were driving by and we're like, let's go check that out, it's like you can just pull in there and go. So I think that was the issue. I genuinely think that having it indoors, one, but having it like hidden, like unless you were on the college campus, and because you had to drive through the college campus like area to even get to it, it's like it was just not a good location at all. So I think that that's really the issue. It's like everybody who was gonna go, they went in the first hour, and then they just didn't go anymore. So let me see what else I got here. Okay, so I will get into what typically everybody is here for. Is what I sold, how much I made, what I sold each item for, and all of that. So I will start out by saying the mystery boxes, I only sold one mystery box. People thought it was like super cool. I don't think it was the price. I don't think it was, anything like that. It's that the people who purchased from me were typically like, they would see something and they're like, oh, I've been wanting to get a dragon for my nephew or something like that who loves dragons. It's like they knew what they wanted, and like when they saw it, so there wasn't a lot of kids. It wasn't like kids who were like, oh, can I, I just want like a mystery plushie and stuff. It wasn't like that. It was typically older people, and they just had their eyes set on something specific, and that's why they purchased what they got. So I sold one mystery box, and the person who I actually sold a mystery box to, she looked to be maybe like a young college student, or maybe like late teens. But I don't know which one she got. The boxes are annoying, so I don't want to like open them up and go through them all. It's just, once you like open them up, it kind of like messes up the boxes because they're a pain in the butt. So I did end up opening up a couple of the boxes and putting some of the items on the table because since the boxes weren't going, I'm like, let me put the stuff on the table, and then somebody might see something that they like and they would want to buy it. So I did sell the Oak and Marlowe bee that way. I put it on the table, and somebody purchased the Oak and Marlowe bee. A little boy got that, and it was $15. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else that Let's see. Yeah, I think I took out a couple other things, but I think that's the only thing that sold from the boxes that I took out. I sold both of the Chicks on Swings for $8. I finished a pig that I was making. I finished it, and it was the pig by Crochet Grove. And I sold that for $20. As soon as I put it on the table, it sold like shortly after. I sold a good bit of I called them mini buddies, and this was just like a lot of just like little stuff that I had made, little stuff that I kind of had like laying around to little frogs and like little whales, just like that kind of stuff. And I was just putting them as mini buddies, so I don't know exactly which ones. But it was just kind of like all similar. I didn't have like a lot of one thing this market to be like, oh, this is what sold like crazy, you know. And again, it was not busy at all, so it just wasn't that kind of vibe. I sold the mini buddies for $5. I probably sold maybe like 5 or 6 of them. And then I sold the, what is her name? Della Duck Snuggler for $28. I sold 2 Chunky Cats for $20. I sold my boho horse for $28. The Blue Dragon by Crochet by Jenna, $28. The boho horse, that's my pattern on my Etsy. Then I sold just like a regular maple chicken for $15. This little boy was so cute. He came up to me and he told me a story about how it reminds him of his first chicken, and his chicken's name, I want to say he said his chicken's name was Hank, and how he has a half wolf, half like regular dog, and so like they had to get rid of their chickens because the dog was like trying to kill the chickens, and it was just like it was just really cute. He was just like telling me this whole story, and so he really wanted the chicken because it reminded him of his first chicken. I sold the Wasp for $18. I sold a Strawberry Will for $15. Let me see if there's anything else that I can think of. So I had everything written out that I was like selling. I kept like writing it down, but again, having my daughter there, I cannot find the paper because it was torn out of the book because she wanted to color in the book, and it just got lost. So next one, I will be hopefully, excuse me, a little bit more organized. I'm not a very organized person, so, but I'd like to think that I would be a little bit more organized. The next market that I have is May 18th, and that one is going to be outside, and it's going to be an end of school bash, as they call it. And there's going to be like a bunch of like jump houses, like bounce houses, like that's who's the organizers of the event in general is the local like inflatable bounce house rental people. It's going to be at a winery, and so I'm hoping people like bring their kids and drink some wine, and like the kids can bounce and play, and I'm really excited for it. Like I don't know, I feel good about this next market, but I'm just excited for the vibes. I think the vibes will be cool, and my husband is going to be able to take my daughter to the event, but I don't have to like take her and have her vend, you know, or sit there with me while I vend. She can go and actually enjoy herself. So that will be fun. So like the totals. So I remember counting everything at the end, and I made around $220. Now I ended up buying some stuff, and I didn't keep track of my cash again. So same thing. It was not very organized because I'm just having my kid and just trying to get through it, whatever. I made for Square, I made 100 and I brought in, let me see, hold on. Square, $148, Venmo, $8, and then cash right now I have $49, but whatever, you know, I was at about $220, so the rest of it was all cash, you know, so whatever I'm missing from that $49 just went elsewhere. So I charge fees for my Square, so that amount is after fees. But I charge fees, like I put it on there. If you're gonna pay with card, you know, I put the exact fee that it's going to charge, I think it's like 2.5% plus 10 cents if you use a card. Never had anybody complain, never had anybody care or say anything. I've never had anybody be like, oh, well, then I'm not going to buy something because I can only use my card and you're going to charge me a fee. It's just never been a thing. Sure, it has happened to people, and maybe it will happen to me, but it hasn't. So, and I think that that's just what you should do, because, you know, I see people a lot of times on here, they're like, okay, and then like the fees were taken out, and so I actually made this much, and it's like, no, you want to charge those fees. I mean, you go to a bunch of other different businesses, and you'll see like, oh, you know, like if you use a card, this fee is going to be charged, and it's because of things like Square and other like card services that require this type of, you know, fee. So you can do that. You can add in, there's like an ad, you can go to like add service fee in there, and you can like apply it to every transaction. You can also do the tax as well, and you can put in your state tax that'll apply it to every item. So I do charge taxes and fees for my card purchases. Okay, so to recap, I made about $220. The booth fee was $80. I'm trying to do math in my head very quick, but I think that's what, $140 that I made. So I didn't go into the whole, I made something, and again, I had a good time, like meeting different people and everything like that. The whole experience, it was fine. It was really boring, not having a lot of people there. But I, again, met really cool people. I got some pretty earrings and some pretty nail polish and some cool crochet stuff. Overall, I am a little upset that it was a juried event and there were so many crochet people there. And we all agreed, like when we talked, well, it was like the three of us that were like, you know, that were actually chatting, that came together and talked. We all agreed that we would rather have been denied than told that we could go, with there being a bunch of people there. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I can't believe they let, you know, these other people in here when I was here. It's like, no, I am upset that they let me come here and everybody else just in general. Like, why would you do that? So that's like, that was just like a little unfortunate. Normally that's something that you have to like worry about when it comes to non-juried markets, so it's just, I don't know, a little weird. That's really that. Hopefully my next market's a little bit more exciting and I can get more footage and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to the patterns, I have a video before this one where I have like all the patterns, like I went over like everything that I have for this, and I have like a list of patterns from that video. I'm gonna link that one down below as well, the same list. If I'm missing anything that was seen in this video, or, you know, whatever, just comment down below and I will get back to you very soon and let you know where the pattern is, who the pattern's by and whatnot. So yeah, I am very close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm really hoping that this video gets me there. I just think it would be really cool. And like I said in my last video, I think it would be just really cool if you were one of my first 1K subscribers, you know, the OGs. So yeah, that's really that. That's really that. I rambled a lot in this one, but that's really that. So, you know, it wasn't the best. Wasn't anything super exciting, but I didn't lose money. But yeah. Anyway, bye.